This month is all about financial genius. Our final speaker of the month is Coriant's very own Heather Locus. She's joining us today to share her work entitled The Financially Wise Woman's Guide to a Full Life. Whether we like it or not, financial security plays a huge role in our journey to joy. Here are some facts we know. 7 out of 10 Americans say they're stressed out about money, and 8 out of 10 women would say the same. 9 out of 10 households fight over finances, and 52% of Americans say that money negatively impacts their mental health. So if all of this is true, how do we create a healthy relationship with money on our journey to joy? So today I have the pleasure of introducing Heather Locus. Heather, thank you for joining us. Each of you can read her impressive bio that she's a partner at Coriant, she's a CPA, she's a CFP, she's a CDFA, lots and lots of acronyms. She's an expert, we know that. However, I think what sets her apart and why we invited her to join us today is that she has all of this. Plus, she knows how to help women take action and make their lives better. So I'm grateful to have her here with us today. Heather, thank you for spending your time, your most valuable resource with us.
Oh, well, thank you for the opportunity. I'm excited about it. You did a good summary of my intro. I have 2 kids who are in college, so navigating empty nesting. I was divorced like 14 years ago, so I've had the whole journey of being married and finances and money, and as a single parent and divorce and second relationship. So I have a lot of experience personally and professionally, and this is my favorite thing to talk about, having women be thoughtful on their finances so they can enjoy a full life. So we thought we would just give some highlights of the 5 key things that wise women do to enjoy a full life and have some conversation in between. This presentation is going to have some stereotypical comments. Of course, stereotypical things tend to be true, but not always. So just want to give a full disclaimer there. So, one of the things is on financial planning, people will ask me, is it different for women versus men? And the core technical issues are the same, but women do have unique risks. And that's primarily because they live longer. So because they live longer, they have more years to plan for, which makes a significant difference when you're looking at lifelong financial security. So all of these things often result in women having less money saved for retirement and a longer retirement to plan for because they live longer. We work with people from all aspects. We do tend to work with more high net worth people, but it doesn't matter how many zeros someone has in their checking account. It's assessing where are you at today and then taking pragmatic steps to get where you'd like to go. This is so key. It's like wherever you're at today, however much debt you own or however many zeros you have in your bank account, to start with the assets which you own. I personally just keep my own in my Excel spreadsheet, and then I update it periodically so I have all the columns so I can see how it evolves over time. Again, the format's not important. It's just that you do it, even if you write it on a Post-it note. And so, often people ask us, how much do I need to save? And again, by no questions asked, the best thing to do is to work with somebody experienced in this. There's been many, many studies in our industry that say, typically you can withdraw about 4 to 5% off your portfolio, and that will last you between 25 to 30 years in retirement. So what that means is that if somebody had $1 million and they expect to live 25 years, they could spend probably about $50,000 a year. There's a lot of nuances that go into that. How much taxable gain do you have? What tax rate? A lot of different things. But in round numbers, to make it easy, $50,000. So then, of course, the question is, how do you save $1 million by retirement? And so if somebody's goal was to retire at age 65, depending on what their current age is, this is how much they would need to save to get, if they had a kind of a aggressive portfolio of stocks and bonds and, probably 70 to 80% stocks, and could get about 8% on average, which again is aggressive, but definitely possible, especially if somebody starts, shortly after college and has a lot of years.
When you think about, kind of doing that math, one of the questions that I had personally, and actually I still kind of have, is what is my post-retirement spending going to look like? As you get older, you buy less things, you buy less clothing, you don't need things. And so I don't know if there's any math out there. Is there any guidelines for, what you're spending in your, call it 30s, in the height of probably where you spend your most money, or 40s? What that looks like or how that declines over time? Is there anything? And I don't know if there is, but
most people, if they can, will actually probably tend to spend about what they were spending, as you're saying, after the kids got fairly settled. Those few years before retirement is what they tend to spend in retirement. Start with your annual statement of your credit card. And if you can, like, get a summary of your checking account and just look high level, that will give you an idea of how much came in, how much went out. I get my credit card in hard copy and my checking account in hard copy because it gives me the discipline to look and just reflect, like, okay, was that in line with my values? Okay, so we have already alluded to this, but it's so important to talk to those important to you about money. Talking to your kids, I mean, one of the best things you could do for your own retirement is raise financially responsible children. Children's work ethic is substantially established by age 12. Research shows that what you want to do is provide children the opportunity to really have decision making with money. You know, when they get to the point that they're asking questions about how much things cost and they want to buy things, et cetera, that's an indication of start giving them a small allowance, not tied to chores, because the goal is not to, at that point, tie it to the work. It's to give them the true opportunity to make decisions. And as you said, it's really important to continue to investing in yourself. And so that's continual growth. And that's both in your education, training, investment opportunities for side hustle, et cetera, as well as getting support at home. You also, in your portfolio, you want to diversify, you want to be disciplined in your investing. Obviously, investing in your 401k makes that much easier, of thinking through how much money are you making, you know, how many weeks a year, how much are you making per hour? And so starting with your salary, you want to add in bonuses or other benefits that you get. So really thinking through your whole comp plan, and really anything you don't love doing and can delegate for less than that should be delegated. I encourage people, if you can hire somebody, like especially working moms, let go of the guilt, just delegate it, because it's smart, because it's allowing you to invest in time and energy for you and your family, which is almost for sure going to make you earn more long term. People say how much should be stocks and bonds. If someone doesn't know, I tell them to start with half stocks, half bonds, invest a little bit, and then that'll give a good guidance of should you go more aggressive or less. It's important to make sure you have emergency reserves. That's for short-term things, 0 to 3 years. Your midterm goals are going to be a little more aggressive on stocks and bonds. And then again, more retirement goals, longer term, whether it's your own retirement or maybe you're in retirement. And we all have to pay taxes. Obviously, that just came up. But if you have losses in bad markets, you want to be strategic and make tax benefits out of that. Consider different retirement accounts. And then, you know, get the advice that you need, whether it's a financial advisor, insurance person, accountant, attorney. Focus on getting the help that you want. So, you know, do everything that you enjoy doing, but be empowered to outsource the rest.
Do you have a favorite quote?
So by far, my favorite quote is by Henry David Thoreau, and it's the true cost of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it.
Wow,
So often people are focused on the money, and it's like, but how much time and energy are we spending on this? And, you know, I think it's true in every aspect of life. It's 100% true in divorce.
And I thought it was very interesting that the woman that we brought on to talk about finances, the very first thing she said was investing time. And, you know, that's what we talk about so much here, because I think women just fail to value their time, maybe because we're all such givers and, you know, typically,